Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to do a collective luxury beauty haul. So these are all the products that I've picked up recently. There's been a lot of sales going on. Obviously, Black Friday is coming up. We just had the Sephora VIB sale. So these are items that I picked up at the Sephora VIB sale. And then there was some other sales that were happening. Like I live in Canada and the Beige was having a little bit of a sale. I think those were the only sales. Again, sales are hard to come by in Canada. So I know a lot of you guys in the US, you get really excited for like the Ulta sale, but Ulta doesn't ship to Canada and we don't have as good as sales as like the US does, that's for sure. So I like to stock up when Sephora goes on sale or when the Beige goes on sale. So I wanted to share some items. This will probably be my last haul before the end of the year, which is crazy. I'm going to be doing my yearly favorites videos, but anyways, we're not going to talk about that now. Let's just get to my haul. I'm going to start off with, let's just do Sephora first. I'll kind of do this in a little bit of an order. So with my Sephora purchases, I actually did some restocking. So for my restocks, I picked up a backup of the Givenchy. I've already used this, which is why it's open. This is the Givenchy Prisme Libre multi-purpose corrector. So it's the skin caring concealer, and I wear the shade N270. I really needed a backup of this because this is a concealer that I actually like to utilize not only on my under eyes, but I like to use it all over the face, kind of as a foundation replacement. This is just such a beautiful concealer because it wears beautifully not only on my under eyes, but it wears beautifully on the face as well. It offers a really nice coverage. It is a nice medium coverage, but you can get light coverage out of it, and it just looks so gorgeous all over the skin, like a foundation replacement. And it's not just beautiful, like, oh, it will make do as a foundation replacement. No, this looks beautiful all over your skin. Just gorgeous. And it performs really well on the under eyes as well. For me, I have drier skin, so I need something that's a little bit more hydrating on my under eyes than maybe some other concealers. And this just holds up really well. It performs really beautifully on the face because it's hydrating, it's blurring, it's long wearing, it's crease resistant, and it's just high performance for a concealer. So I got a backup of this, and this is just a concealer that I really recommend. If I could compare it to any concealer, I would say it's the most similar to the Dior Skin Correct. Is that the one? Skin Correct concealer, I believe. It's very close to that one, but I feel like the Givenchy has maybe just a little bit more hydration and a little bit more blur to it. The Dior one has a little bit more coverage to it, I want to say, but they're very similar, and I just prefer this one. It's really, really beautiful. So that is the first thing I picked up at Sephora. I also got a backup of the YSL. This is the one that I actually bought is actually unopened. It's still in the box, but you probably don't want to see the box. It's kind of boring. So I did pick up a backup of the YSL, the Rouge Volupté Candy Glaze in the shade 02. This is just a holy grail lip product. This is my fourth purchase of it because I like to have one in my bag, and I also just like to have one on my makeup vanity. This is something that I like to even use before bed, and I really like this because you can see it just twists up like a lip balm would, and it looks like a clear lip balm, so you might think, what a waste of money, but it's not because it is so high performing. It's like thick on the lips. It feels a little bit tacky, and because it is a thicker texture, it really hugs the lips and just fills in any lip lines on your lips, and it's just such a high performing product. Because it is a little bit thicker and a little bit tacky, I find that it almost acts like a lip mask, and it actually stays hydrating for many hours versus if you just apply a lip gloss that's that really thin texture. I find that sometimes that might even settle into lip lines, or because it's such a thin texture, it just gets absorbed so quickly and therefore it fades away after like an hour, where this just performs almost like a lip mask and adds like that deep hydration to my lips. So this just performs really well, and it keeps my lips ultra comfortable. And I really like that it's basically giving my lip color just a little bit of a tint. But so I want to compare this to like those pH adjusting lip balms. What I want those products to be, because whenever I try pH adjusting lip balm, and they always promise it's not going to turn hot pink because they come out with like coral ones or beige ones or burgundy ones. No, they all go hot pink on me, and I hate pH adjusting. I hate them. I will no longer try pH adjusting because they all just turn hot pink on me. This is what I want pH adjusting lip balms to do, is just make my lips look even better and just, you know, give me like a hint of color, but that won't turn bright pink. So I love this. This is so, so good. A holy grail product. I had to pick up a backup. I also picked up, now this is a question you guys really wanted my opinion on, the Gucci highlighter, so I did decide to pick it up. This is the Gucci Glow Highlighter in the shade 03 Warm Gold. It's a multi-use silky illuminating powder. Mine actually arrived broken. This came out, so they are sending me a new one, but I don't know. I don't love this. Now it is this really nice texture. It's like a bouncy consistency, so it's very similar to like those powder to cream formulas. It's a very interesting texture, and I do think that it is really beautiful. Like, it feels really nice. It feels like a creamy powder is how I could describe it. And it does look nice and smooth. I feel like I would use this more on the eyes because it is very intense. Like, you can see you get a lot of intensity. And it does, unfortunately, there are a little bit of intermittent shimmers. There are some glitter particles to this one. So I can see it on the skin. Like, to me, it's a little bit detectable. However, I've heard a lot of people say that they really like this. A lot of you guys wanted my opinion on the Hindash highlighter versus the Gucci. So I'm just going to, this is another thing I hauled, by the way, is this Hindash. This was in the Beautylish sale. The Hindash Gradient Highlighter. It's a pink champagne shimmer in the shade Dull Dynasty. So this transitions from like a pinky shade to this beautiful golden champagne. Some people said that they couldn't detect the pink, but to me this does. It's like a coral to a golden sheen. And I just think the Hindash one is a more sophisticated formula. I do prefer the Hindash one. I just think it looks a little bit more skin-like on the skin. It's a little bit less opaque. Like, I feel like the Gucci is a little bit more opaque on the skin, so it's a little more obvious, where the Hindash gives you more of that like wet glow that just really sinks into your skin. So I do feel like they are different enough that you could have both, but if you are asking for my personal preference, I still think that the Hindash one is my personal preference. The Gucci one, it's nice, but I don't know if it will stand out compared to my other highlighters. Like, I still think I prefer like my Bare Minerals highlighter. I'm gonna have to play with this because, to be fair, I have only worn this once and I'm just not entirely sure. But if you're asking me currently what my opinion is, I still think I prefer the Hindash one. I just think it looks a little bit more elegant on the skin. So that's the Hindash, that's the Gucci, if you can tell the difference. It's really hard to see in the hand swatches. I feel like you have to kind of compare on the face, but they are both beautiful. Like, these are high quality products. Like, they feel really nice. Is the Gucci highlighter bad? No, not at all. It feels like, it does feel really silky, and I do like the consistency. I just don't know if it's going to be like an all-time favorite. I feel like a lot of people are making it sound a lot better than it is, but that's just my personal preference. I don't know. I also picked up a few different liquid blushes because I kind of want to do a liquid blush like showdown sort of thing. And I picked up the, oh no, that's my Candy Glaze. I picked up the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Cheek Tint in the shade Flaming Red, number 41. So this is a really popular color right now. I think they used this sort of color, not this exact formula, but they used an RMS color on the Victoria's Secret Angels, and everyone's going wild for a red blush. And I decided to pick this one up because this is something I actually don't have in my collection. I don't have a red blush that I like. So I wanted to pick up this color and this formula just to see what this formula is like. It really reminds me of like those Rare Beauty liquid blushes or the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Beauty Wand. Very, very high pigment. Like, you only need the tiniest little dot and it just blends for days. Like, that is a bright ass red. And so I'm gonna have to be very careful when I apply this on the skin, because obviously that is like a super, super bright red, but it does blend. Like, it seems like it blends easily. Again, I have drier skin type, so I'm gonna need something that has a little bit of an emollience to it. That's not gonna dry down to a powder finish right away. And this does seem like it will be nice. I haven't actually tested it out on my skin yet, so you guys will have to let me know what you want to see in a try-on video, or if you want to see that liquid blush video, then let me know. I also picked up the YSL Make Me Blush liquid blush in the shade number 44 Nude La Villiers. I'm probably saying that very wrong. Again, I haven't actually tested this out. Usually when I do a haul, I like to actually test out the products, but before I do my try-on video, I will test out these products so that I just don't like first impression videos. I don't find that they're very helpful because first impressions don't really give you an idea whether how good a product is. So very similar to the Armani blush. Oh, this has a fragrance. Damn it, I'm really against fragrance right now. But anyways, this is a really pretty color. It's like a really nice nude blush. I feel like the Armani one had more pigmentation to it, but it could just be this color. But it seems to blend out really nicely. Now this one really intrigued me because it's called a blurring blush, liquid blush. And I'm just really liking a liquid blush versus a cream blush, because liquid blushes, they give you that cream-like appearance, but they're gonna last so much longer. They're a very thin consistency, so they're a thin texture, so I feel like they just really mesh with the skin beautifully. I like that really beautiful second skin look. So I thought this color would be perfect because it kind of is like my cheeks but better. So I'm really interested to see how those two perform. I have tried the Hourglass blushes, and maybe I'll save that for my blush video, but that is the one liquid blush that I returned because I do not like those ones. But usually I do like a liquid formula, and I'm very curious about this and how it's going to perform. I don't know why I put it back in the box, but that is another product I got. I also picked up this NARS lipstick. This is the NARS Explicit lipstick. It's a refillable lipstick. I don't believe the refills are available currently, but it is marketed as refillable. I think there's 3 lipsticks that are in the refills currently, but I'm sure they'll come out with all of them in refillable options once this product like this hasn't been released for that long. It is a new release from NARS. The packaging is really beautiful. It's just black, but it is like magnetic, and it does feel luxurious. Like it has a weight to it. It's not ultra heavy, but it is weighted. And I picked up the shade Envy number 830. Now this was marketed as like a mauve shade. However, this is definitely leaning more on like the coral side. Like it's like a peachy pink brown. It does look nice on, but I was expecting it to be more on the mauvey side, more of a pink tone. So I do think I want to pick up another shade that's more mauvey, because I think this works really well if I'm using a blush color with like, that does have warmer, like maybe if I'm using a coral blush or I'm using warm tones on the eyes. I do think this will look really pretty, but for something that I like to use on an everyday basis, like I don't wear mascara on an everyday basis. This is literally how I do my makeup on an everyday basis. If I apply makeup, I'm not putting mascara on. And I like my lips to be a little more of that dusty pink color. And then I could even put a little bit on my cheeks, like as a finishing touch, almost in like that Patrick Ta method. I think that would be really pretty. So I do really like this formula. I want to say it really reminds me of the Merit Signature Lightweight Lipstick, which is why this one here in the shade Baby is my like ultimate holy grail. These formulas are very similar because they feel very waxy, and it's not ultra opaque. I would say it's a lightweight lipstick, so it gives you more of that like medium opacity, which I like. I don't like a full opacity satin lipstick. I just think it's too harsh on my lips. So yeah, Baby is a little bit more cool toned. So I would like to find something similar in the NARS. It's not as warm toned as this one, but it is a really nice like beigey tone. So if you're someone that likes warmer nude lipsticks that doesn't lean brown, because sometimes I find nude lipsticks just lean too brown. This isn't too brown. It does have a little bit of pink in it. It's just not mauve like it stated it would be. And I just am really happy with this formulation, which is why I want to buy another one. I don't want to return it and get a different shade. I would want to buy another one because that's how much I like this formula. I'm really, really impressed by it. I've been using this almost every day. If I'm wearing a more corally cheek, then I will reach for this one. It's really, really beautiful. Something else I picked up during the sale. So Dior released their contour sticks, and I had the Dior Forever Skin Contour Stick in the shade 01, but it was, I forget what the shade name was. I don't see it here anyways, but I picked up the shade 01, but it is so, so cool tone. Like if you have Westman Atelier Biscuit, it is cooler tone than that. So it's too cool tone for me personally. Now I don't like to contour on an everyday basis. Contour and bronzer, they are different, and I don't like to contour because I have a small face, I have a slim face, and I don't want to add definition to my cheekbones or any more, because then I will look even skinnier, and I don't want my face to look skinnier. No, I want fullness. So I wanted to try out their bronzer shade, but like I said in my Sephora VIB recommendation video, I don't necessarily recommend this. One, it's so perfumey, and I just hate that. Like, please, luxury beauty brands, can we leave fragrance out of our products in 2024? Because fragrance is just not good for your skin. I don't care if you can handle fragrance, it's just not good for your skin barrier. Besides the point, this is a really, really warm tone. Like this is the warmest tone bronzer that I have in my entire collection. It almost is orange. So that's why I didn't really want to recommend it, because I just feel like these shades aren't going to work for everyone. I do wish they'd expand the shade range, but I did pick up the shade 02 Tan just because I do want to do a full face of like Dior versus Chanel. And so I wanted to pick this up to have so I could use it in that video anyways. But I do want to say, if you use like a tiny amount, like if I just, so you guys know I don't apply products to my face like this, because that's just your product will get away from you. It's just, you're not going to blend it out as easy. It's just so much harder to manage. I do like to just put a little bit on my hand, and then I'll just go in with a brush. Like say I'll just pick up this brush and I'll pick it up this way, or you know, you can deposit it this way and then get the excess off on the back of your hand. But that's how I like to apply the product. And if you apply this product in a really small layer, like I just showed, like the tiniest amount, it does go on very sheerly, and it will just give you a little bit of that color payoff, but it does lean very, very, like it's basically orange. It leans very, very warm tone. So if you have a cooler complexion, you are not going to like this. But the blendability of this is really beautiful. This formula is so, so nice. I just wish, like, Dior, please release this in more shades, and please release this without a fragrance, because it is very irritating. Like it smells like straight up perfume. But it is a nice formula, so I will be interested to try that one out in comparison to the cooler tone one, because the cool tone one is just a little bit too cool tone. And then I just picked up a few more things at Sephora. So not the last thing. I also picked up this Tower 28 concealer, this Swipe Serum Concealer in the shade 7.0 K-Town. I'm kind of going on this journey where I want to move more towards clean beauty brands, things that aren't going to, anyways, I don't want to talk about it on this video, but I am leaning towards more clean stuff. There's a lot of reasons why, and I'm not going to go into it in this video because I'm sure you guys don't care. And I am still going to be a luxury-based beauty channel. However, just for my own personal use, like if I do have to wear foundation or if I do have to wear makeup on an everyday basis, I would like them to be cleaner products. So I wanted to try out some clean brands just to see what they're like. And I have heard really good things about this Tower 28 concealer. Again, I haven't tried this yet. It's a really nice serum consistency. So it's a very thin texture. Wow, very high pigment. Interested to see if this will hold up well, just because again, clean beauty brands, sometimes they can go off really easily. Sometimes they're not high performance, like they work well for like 2 months and then again they kind of go off, or they're good for a clean beauty brand but they're not like comparable to some other luxury products. So I'm going to be interested to see how this performs, and obviously I'm going to give my honest thoughts. I also, let's see, coming down to the wire, the last few things here. So one of the eye products I purchased, I'm really trying not to purchase eyeshadow products because I just don't wear eyeshadow, like I said, on a daily basis. I don't wear mascara on a daily basis. I only wear eyeshadow if I'm going out. And I really wanted to try this Westman Atelier, the iPods. They're $120 full price in Canada though, so I only wanted to buy them during a sale. So this is the Westman Atelier iPods, and I think this is the shade Toujours. It's the newest shades that she came out with. So it comes as a trio. We have Vanille, Beige, and Cafe Creme. So, oh, these are in a mixed up order. So Vanille is the first shade, and it comes in these beautiful jars. So it's this really nice, just creamy beige shade. These are kind of like a powder to cream formula. Oh, you can't see vanilla. Vanilla is my skin tone, so you're not going to be able to see that in a swatch. Beige is in this really nice pink one. And that is just a straight up transition shade. These are really sheer pigmentation. So it's just a really nice beige tone, a nice transition shade. Like I said, these are kind of like a powder to cream formula. They remind me of like the Tom Ford powder to cream formula that he came out with. And then we have the shade Cafe Creme, which is the deepest shade. It doesn't run that deep. This will just give me some definition. I can run it along the lash line. But I just wanted something I could use for every day that's really light pigmentation, that's sheer pigmentation, that's going to look like my natural beauty is enhanced, versus it being like intense eyeshadow that you need to be really careful with. I like products that start off very, very sheer, that look ultra natural, that almost look like lived-in makeup. I just like my makeup to be super duper natural looking. So these iPods really fit the bill for that. And then I heard everyone talk about the Patrick Ta eyeshadow duo, so I was curious, and people were saying they're like the Tom Ford wet to dry formula. They're a really elegant, sophisticated shimmer, really like luxurious formulation. It was supposed to be like this gel-based, sort of, I guess, like you could say a powder to cream formula. And I let everyone talk me into it, and I was like, wow, this is going to be a sophisticated shimmer, similar to like the Chantecaille luminescent eye shades. I was ready to be blown away because everyone was going, look how gorgeous these are. Like, your eyes look reflected and beautiful. So I was so excited. I swatched it when I got my hands on them, and these are really dry, like those dry glitter toppers. I was not even ready for how glittery. These are a glitter bomb, like a glitter bomb. So this is this orangey shade. I picked up the shade Do You Know Who I Am? And yeah, they're very dry. Like, when you swatch them, it feels like a dry glitter, if you know that feeling. And they are so flaky. Like, can you even see? I feel like you can't even see the pigmentation. Like, there's a swatch of it, but it is a glitter bomb. I'm filming at night, so I really hope you can see it. It's like pitch black outside, so hopefully this is okay, but I really just wanted to film because I haven't had time this week. But wow, this is way glittery, more glittery than I thought it would be. I was kind of surprised because people are going, oh, it's not glitter, but this is straight up glitter. This glitter. This straight up glitter. This one is even more glittery. Like this. Oh wait, maybe that one is the less glittery one. So you get more of that base behind it, where this one's more of that glitter topper. So this one's more of that glitter topper. This will give you a little bit of color, and they're very neutral tones. So at first I was like, oh, I love a neutral tone. This will be perfect as a one and done eyeshadow. I could maybe get this one to work, maybe, but it is like, wow, is that Sparkle City? Like, it is so sparkly. If you are someone that likes Natasha Denona, Pat McGrath, I feel like these are even more sparkly, to be honest. Maybe they're not, maybe I'm just remembering wrong, but they are like that dry consistency. Okay, I like this one better. This one, the top one here, can you see that? I feel like you can see that a little better like this. This one is nicer because it's a little bit, I say a little bit more smooth, and I do mean a little bit more smooth. It's still a glitter. Like, that is, there are intermittent shimmer flecks in this one. This is, you have to like glitter to like these, and I was not prepared for that. I thought they were going to be very sophisticated formulas. I'm going to have to try this on my eyes. I do think this one will be okay. This one, I don't love because it is so, like, this one will fall all over your face. Regardless of if you've done your eyes first, you have to do your eyes first with these sort of formulas. This one may be okay. I'm a little bit more curious about this one now, but I was expecting more out of them, and they're very expensive for what they are, which I guess is more of an eyeshadow topper. I don't know. I guess I can't really judge something based on a swatch, but I think I was just expecting them to be less glittery, and I was expecting them to be more refined, like a Tom Ford shimmer, like one of those, they call them like glitter toppers, they're eye toppers. I was expecting more of that formula where it is ultra sophisticated. It looks like that wet, glossy, kind of like your eyes are just dewy versus it being like a sparkle bomb. I just don't know if these are worth the money, to be honest. Like, they are very pricey for what they are, but you do get a lot of product, and if you're someone that uses these products, I'll have to try it on in that video. Like I said, I don't even know why I'm talking about it. I can't really give you a review when I haven't tried them on my eyes yet, but those were just my thoughts, that I was not expecting them to be as glittery as they were. So that is everything that I bought from Sephora. And then I also made a purchase from the Beige because the Beige was offering, I think it was just, the Beige doesn't really offer much off of luxury beauty. Like, maybe we'll get a 10% discount once in a while. So they were doing a 10%, I think it was a President's Day sale. Anyways, you guys don't care, especially if you're in the US, you can't shop at the Beige. But I picked up some Chanel beauty products because you can actually get Chanel at a discount. So Chanel reformulated their Ultra Le Tint Velvet, and I picked up the reformulation. So this is made, the reformulation was made without SPF and without talc, which I was really excited about. And so I'm actually currently doing a wear test on this one. And this is a blurring smooth effect foundation for a velvet matte finish. This is highly fragrance. Ugh, why? Like, why? Some Chanel products feel like they're naturally fragrance, like the Chanel Sublimage L'Essence de Teint. that to me doesn't smell perfumey fragrance. It feels like it has like skincare fragrance. Like that's just what the ingredients in the foundation are fragrance to be like. This smells like straight up perfume is on my face, which I really hate. But the foundation is really beautiful. Like I said, I have it on now and it is very blurring. I don't think the reformulation is available in the US currently, but yeah, this is like an ultra blurring foundation. So I do really like that. And I just really wanted to try it out. I know a lot of you guys, this is like your holy grail foundation. So I knew I had to try out the reformulation. And then I also picked up a backup of the Chanel. This is the Baume Essentiel and the shade Sculpting because I lost mine. So I had to repurchase it. And I just love this. Like this is one of the best stick highlighters. Like I have the Victoria Beckham one. I know I have other ones, but I can't think of them on the top of my head. But this is just the best one because it doesn't remove the makeup that you have underneath. Like whenever I finish off with one of these balms, a lot of the time they remove the makeup that's underneath or my hair will get stuck in them. Oh, like the Westman Atelier sticks. I don't like those. And this one doesn't. This just really revives your makeup and makes your makeup, just your complexion come back to life without it being slippy, without it removing the makeup underneath. It's not sparkly at all. This just looks like natural, healthy skin. So I bought a backup of that. Also picked up these Chanel blushes. So these are the Chanel Jouer Contrast Intense. They're the cream to powder blushes. And I picked up the shade Beige Eclatant, which is this really nice beige shade. And then I also picked up the shade Rose Ardent. And I honestly just picked these up because they're really beautiful mixed together. This one is too pink and cool toned. This one is too warm toned and corally. Even though it's called Beige Eclatant, it does lean a little bit coral. And this one, Rose Ardent, is just quite cool toned. So mixing these together gives me the perfect combo. And I really like these because, like it says, it's a cream to powder. It almost feels like a powder to cream to me. Like it applies like a powder product, but it melds into the skin like a cream product would. And I really like these because they offer almost like a stain on your cheeks. It looks just like your complexion is naturally healthy, naturally has that beautiful flush versus it looking like you've applied a powder product. There's nothing powdery about this formula at all. It really just melds into the skin and gives your skin just a pinch of color. It makes you look really healthy and it has like a very subtle glow, but there are no shimmer particles. I really, really like these combos together. This just looks like natural, healthy skin. This looks like your skin is enhanced. Really beautiful, healthy, natural, fresh-faced looking skin that, yeah, it doesn't look like makeup on your skin, which I really, really enjoy. So I picked up those two colors and I really like them. And then lastly, I just have a random purchase that I made from Sweed. So I heard a lot of you guys actually recommended this Sweed Glass Skin Foundation to me. A lot of you guys said you really like this. However, they didn't have my shade. So I ended up picking up the shade 03 and 07 because 03 looked like it was going to be too light and 07 looked like it was going to be too dark. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to pick up both of them up. I'll mix them together. For foundations that are too deep for me, I can always mix in like a drop of the 03. For foundations that are too light for me, I can always mix in a shade of 07. Sometimes it's nice to have foundations that run a little bit lighter than your skin tone and a little bit deeper than your skin tone so that you can mix and match your other foundations. And I was just hoping the formula was as good as you guys said it would and that I could use it as a foundation mixer essentially. And I'm happy to report I have used this several times because I hauled this quite a long time ago. Wow, this is a beautiful formula. This is very buildable. I would say you can get straight up medium coverage. It's quite opaque for a glass skin foundation, what I would assume is more lighter coverage. It actually has quite a bit of coverage, but it's beautiful. It's blurring. It has enough hydration, but it's not too hydrating. Incredibly long wearing. This wears all day long for me. Really, really impressed by how this holds up. And for the winter time, I think this is going to be really nice as well because it has enough hydration. But even when it was still hot outside, I could wear this and it wasn't breaking up. It wasn't looking too greasy throughout the day. Just seems like a really, really beautifully performing product. But that is everything that I picked up at the Sephora VIB sale and that I purchased just randomly. This is just kind of, like I said, a random luxury beauty haul, and it will probably be my last one of the year. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you picked up anything from the Sephora VIB sale. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know if you have any products that you would like me to try out in my try-on video. Like if there's any products that you just really want to see in action, let me know so that I can try them on in my next video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Like this video if you like it, and I'll see you in my next video.